In the world of ice and fire, there are three places listed as the furnaces of the world. The first is the 14 Flames, a range of volcanoes which was the backbone of Valyria's ancient power, hatching dragons and fireworms but also containing great treasures. The second is Dragonstone, the seat of House Targaryen after the doom of Valyria, and its flame hatched numerous dragons for the conquering houses they lorded over Westeros until their eventual fall. The third and final furnace of the world, the third of these dragon-hatching magical nexuses, is Winterfell, the seat of the ancient and powerful House Stark. But what? Winterfell is cold, Starks connect with winter, and it just doesn't really make much sense. How is it that one of the three convergences of fire magic is in Winterfell? How is it that the first two are powerful locations used to hatch dragons and the third seems to be cold and nearly lifeless? Are there really dragons or fireworms beneath Winterfell? Well, there is actually a bit of a misconception here. Winterfell is far from cold and certainly not lifeless. Winterfell may actually be one of the warmest places in the Seven Kingdoms throughout the entire year, including the brutally long winters. This is all because Winterfell was built on a powerful hot spring. These hot springs, the only springs that we ever really see in Aswath, are the reason Winterfell was built here to begin with, as the heat and life provided by the oasis is the only reason such life is able to thrive in an otherwise inhospitable environment. There are dozens of these hot springs scattered about. Every courtyard or plot of undeveloped land has a steaming pool on it. The three small ones next to the Godswood are the most commonly referenced and seen, but we are told that they are all throughout the castle. The warm waters are piped throughout the walls of the castle, and in an impressive feat of engineering, run through almost every building and passageway. The boiling water keeps the castle warm year-round, and we see this throughout every Winterfell chapter. For example, in Kat's second chapter, Catelyn thinks about how she never has to light fires to keep herself warm, despite the environment, even during these unforgiving winters. Okay, but why does this matter? How can a natural geothermal process be used as evidence for draconic or magical life dwelling beneath the castle of House Stark? To understand, let's look back at the other two furnaces of Aswath, as well as the greater fire magic system as a whole. Fire magic is one of the true driving forces in Aswath, the system that draws on the powers of shadows, the sun, glass candles, and many other things. Fireworms and dragons are tied with fire magic as well. The core or essence of fire magic is something I have labeled the core of undying flame, but it's the same power that fuels dragonfire or the unburning glass candles. The core appears anywhere we see an undying source of fire, including the magical and powerful realm of Valyria, in which many deep and powerful geothermal wonders contribute to the magic and power of the Fallen Kingdom. The same case occurs in Dragonstone, where Targaryens use the geothermal hotspot, or that core of flame, as a seat for their draconic power. The point is, the two times we see natural geothermal power, it is tied closely with powerful ancient kingdoms which thrive on fire magic, particularly the hatching of dragons. But Winterfell might just be an exception. House Stark has no direct ties to dragons or fire magic. They're the house of ice magic, right? Well, again, not exactly. House Stark may, according to some theories, be part other, and is associated with winter simply due to their geography. And while it may make sense that thousands of years ago the Starks ruled their great kingdom by maybe utilizing ice dragons or something like that, the ice dragons are, well, cold. And that just doesn't fit with the fact that Winterfell is apparently the fire magic capital number 3 of the world. House Stark, to me, doesn't really represent ice magic, but instead the convergence between the two systems of magic. They sit on the border of civilization and the cold abyss, guarding civilization from the others and the horrors beyond the wall, and possibly, depending on what trippy theories you believe, vice versa, defending the others from normal civilization. Their house words, winter is coming, invoke the ever-changing seasons, which is the battlefield between the two driving magical forces. House Stark sits on Winterfell, a beacon of warmth against the frigid north. House Stark isn't the house of cold, it's the house of balance, of convergence. When Bran the Builder built Winterfell, he chose the location because of these hot springs. Winterfell is a massive and supremely well-designed castle, with miles of underground crypts and plumbing to tap into this geothermal heat. If one were to argue or speculate that Bran was magical or trying to control some compelling natural force, containing a dragon beneath the castle would make some level of sense. To add a dash of actual evidence to this speculation, let's talk about gargoyles. Gargoyles exist, at least in real-world mythology, to ward off or contain demons. Maybe the gargoyles scattered about Winterfell, which are noted on multiple occasions and appear more common in Winterfell than any other castle, are used to contain some powerful sleeping dragon? Why must there always be a Stark in Winterfell? Does it have to do with containing this dragon? Does it play into the magical convergence that must be somehow kept in balance? Is there a dragon about to be revealed from beneath Winterfell? It would be neat. We have a lot of possible hidden dragons in the story, with plenty of hidden Targaryens. Everyone seems to think they need to awaken dragons from stone, and fire magic practitioners from Aegon IV to Melisandre have had visions of such events occurring. No one's just seemed to think to look at Winterfell yet. Okay, but that's enough speculation for now. Let's get back to some evidence on how this could actually work. The existence of some ancient sleeping dragon is purely speculative, and even if it's a thematically fun thought experiment, it just doesn't exactly work. Visions in Aeswaf are frequently misinterpreted and rarely literal, but as I've mentioned, people like Melisandre and Daemon II Blackfyre have had visions of dragons awakening from stone. These visions did have more literal interpretation as in character developments, but the precedent for some sort of dragon event like this occurring is there. However, in A Clash of Kings, Bran witnesses a dragon awakening from beneath Winterfell, which seems to fit a different bill, because it doesn't exactly seem to be a vision. While warging his direwolf, he narrates, "The smoke and ash clouded his eyes, and in the sky he saw a great winged snake whose roar was a river of flame. He bared his teeth, but then the snake was gone." Now there are a lot of interpretations of this scene, with some more level-headed readers merely dismissing this as an illusion or hallucination. But being level-headed is lame, so let's explore some crazy explanations. Many R+L=J fanatics insist this proves that Jon Snow is somehow a Targaryen, just like how they insist everything proves R+L=J, but that doesn't explain everything here. What is described as almost certainly a dragon, it's a winged snake which breathes fire, and it looks like it wasn't in some vision, but if it was real, how have more people not heard or, noticed it? Well, the dragon was only briefly visible, obscured by smoke and ash, and because it got in his eyes, we know the ash was real, not just some vision. But even if the dragon wasn't a literal dragon, this vision occurs at the time of Dany's dragon hatching in the Red Comet, as there's a reawakening of fire magic within Aeswaf. It's symbolic of something, even if you somehow think that it's some sort of vision or hallucination thing and not real. Some dragon, something powerful related to fire magic, has emerged from Winterfell. One last bit of evidence before we leave. During the Dance of the Dragons, Prince Jacaerys rode the dragon Vermax north to win the Northern Lords to the Black's cause, most notably Cregan Stark. Mushroom alleges that while Vermax was in Winterfell, the dragon laid a clutch of eggs in the depths of the crypts of Winterfell. Now sure, this is Mushroom, but on the other hand, the crypts of Winterfell is a perfect spot to hatch dragons, a geothermal hotspot of the world, one of the 3 furnaces of the world capable of hatching dragons, and a place of magical convergence. It almost makes sense. But thank you all very much for watching. Please comment below with your thoughts, I will be sure to respond. Also, please subscribe if you're able. I'm a small content creator and each subscription makes a measurable impact on my channel. And speaking of subscribers, thank you for all the recent subs. I see I'm almost to 1,000. Anyway, do take care, and I will see you all next time.